Hi, my name is Andrei Osachuk. I welcome you to the next training on Adobe Experience Cloud Technologies. If you are already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you watched a few videos where I compared Adobe Analytics to Google Analytics so that you will see the difference between these two web analytics solutions. And I decided to continue that series and show you the difference between Google Tag Manager and Adobe Launch, which is the latest tag manager from Adobe. And I'm not going to show you in this video how Google Tag Manager works, and I recommend you to subscribe to Measure School YouTube channel led by Julian, and he has recorded a number of videos dedicated to Facebook Pixel implementation in Google Tag Manager. So you can watch his videos to get an idea how Google Tag Manager works and how it used to implement different pixels, including Facebook. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with Adobe Launch and how you can implement Facebook Pixel in Adobe Launch according to best practices. Let's get started. This training will be done in Adobe Launch, and this window is on the right. And on the left-hand side, you can see the Facebook page where we will be looking at the documentation about how to implement Facebook Pixel for e-commerce sites. In particular, we will implement today view content and add to cart events, in addition to the page view event. So now let's go to Adobe Launch. I have a number of extensions already installed, and these extensions you will need to have if you want to practice this after this video. So we will need to have Facebook Pixel extension and SDI Toolkit. I'm going to start with data elements. I have some pre-configured already, and I will add a new data element that will help me recognize on which environment the visitor is. So I will add the environment data element, and we'll be using the SDI Toolkit extension, and we'll set data element type to launch build info. This will help me to return the environment name, and I'm going to save it. The next data element that I'm going to create is for Facebook ID. Obviously, when I come to my development or staging environment, I don't want the data to be sent to my production environment of Facebook. Otherwise, my metrics will be inflated and my reporting will be screwed. So I'm going to dynamically set Facebook ID. This is Facebook ID, and I'm going to set it with the SDI Toolkit extension. So in this case, I'm going to select data element translator, and this will help me to set it dynamically. So I will select environment, and now with these two inboxes, I'm going to check which value is returned by this data element, and for each of the values I will be set a separate Facebook ID. So the first value is development, and this will be my 1001st Facebook ID, then staging, and finally production. Here you may want to set your actual Facebook ID that is provided by Facebook. In these cases, you can either set the values that do not exist. It's just to not send the data to your production environment on Facebook. So this is it. We've set up the Facebook ID data element, and let's save it. Now let's proceed with the rules. And my first rule is to fire page view pixel on every page. So I'm going to add a new rule. I will call it all pages. I will set the event to page button. This is when this event will be triggered, or this rule will be triggered. And as for the action, I will select Facebook pixel and will set it to send page view. Right, so as you see, everything is ready. You don't need to configure any type of settings, and just save this to the library. And as the next step, we will check that this rule is currently working as expected. So while the library is being built, I'm going to switch to my demo site. This is my demo site, and this is the browser console. And let's reload the page to see how Adobe Launch is currently working on this page. As you see, we have all pages rule fired, and then Facebook pixel code also was loaded. And if we switch to the network tab, we can see that the page view event has been successfully sent to facebook.com, and here is the ID that I forgot to map. So it's not a problem. Let's go back to extensions. I'm going to go to the configuration of the Facebook, and here I will replace pixel ID with my dynamic Facebook ID as a data element, and let's save it. And now we'll need to wait while the library is being built. And now this ID should be replaced the new one. And just to remind you, 1001 should be shown here since it was set for the development environment that I'm currently on. So I'm going to refresh the page again, and let's check. Yes, so now the ID is set correctly, and this was just for the demonstration that you always need to test your implementation to make sure that it's working as expected. So now we have the ID that we wanted to use for this Facebook pixel, and we also have the page view event. So now everything seems to be working fine, and I'm going to proceed and set up another Facebook pixel. Since this is an e-commerce site, I want to track product detail pages. So for example, if I go to shop men and select one of the categories, for example this one, and here I will select one of the products, this will help me to reach the product detail page. And I want to send additional information to Facebook that the visitor reached this page, basically came to this page. And let's take a look at the documentation. This is the documentation, and we can see that we may want to send the view content event, and these are the attributes or parameters that should be in this event. Not all of them are required, and I'm going to set most of them for the product detail page view. So now let's switch back to Adobe Launch. And I'm going to go to Rules and create a new rule. The new rule should be fired only on the product detail pages. I'm going to name this rule as PDP load, and as for the event, I will be using page button. And now the question is, how can I determine that the page the visitor is on is a product detail page? I will need to add a condition, and I have already pre-configured a data element that will help me to determine that. I will select value comparison, and here I will check the page type data element, and if it's set to PDP, then this is a product detail page. So I will call it page is PDP, and I'm going to save it. Now this rule will be fired only on the pages that are product detail pages. And the next step is to configure the pixel. I'm going to select Facebook pixel, and now the question is, what type of action type should you choose? So in my case, I will go ahead with the custom event, because in this case I can set any attributes I want. First, I'm going to copy view content event name. Then all these attributes are the keys. So I'm going to copy content name, and this will be product name. I'm going to select data element, which is called product name. Then content IDs. This is what will be my product ID or SKU. And as you can see, it has a specific format, like an array, and I also configured a data element for it. So I'm going just to change this to product ID array, and this will return me the product ID. The next is content type, and it should be set to the static value product, and I will add two more keys, one for value, which is the product price, and finally I will need to add currency, and this is the currency the product price is shown in, and I also have a data element for it, product price currency. So now I have configured the pixel, and I'm going to rename it view content PDP, and I'm going to save it. So now the rule is ready, and I'm going to save it to the library and build the library. And as usual, I will go to my demo site. So I'm back to the product detail page, and I'm going to reload it to see what will happen with the Facebook pixels. So the very first pixel is still page view. Let's take a look at the second one. This is the view content pixel event, and what has been sent. This is my product name. This is the SKU or ID. This is the type product, its price and currency. So this is $210 US. So as you can see, this is what's been set. Now let's take a look at what we can track with Facebook pixel on this page. Since this is the e-commerce site, one of the success events is addition to the cart. So when somebody clicks on this button, we also may want to track it on Facebook. And now let's get back to the documentation on Facebook and see what's written there. So here we have an example for add to cart event. So this is the code snippet, and we will need to set it in Adobe Launch. And we will need to set it on the event button click. So let's get back to the site and see how we can intercept such on-page events. This is my button, and I'm going to investigate it with inspect, and we can see that this is the button tag, and it has the class btn-cart. So we can use this to intercept click on this button. So now let's set it up in Adobe Launch. So I'm going to create another rule, and this will be click on add to cart button, and we'll add the event which will be mouse click, and we will need to set here a selector which will be button btn cart, and this will help us to intercept the clicks on that HTML element. The next step is to set up the Facebook pixel. I'm going to select Facebook pixel, and again we'll keep working with the custom event. We'll switch to the documentation. This is the event name, which is add to cart. Then we will again need to populate content name and some other attributes. Content IDs, content type. As in the previous exercise, we will just need to select data elements. Content name is product name. Content ID is product ID array. Content type will be product. Value is the product price. And finally, currency. There you go. This is set up, and I will update it as add to cart event. So now I'm happy to save it and build the library. And let's switch to the site. Now the library is built, and I'm going to test it. I will start with the home page, just to make sure that the pixel is working as expected. There should be only one request, and this is a page view request. Everything is working as expected. Again, let's take a look at the ID. It's the one that I expected for the development environment. Then I'm going to go to the shop man page, and again we can see only the page view event. And I'm going to go ahead to the product detail page. Now let's take a look what's been sent. This is the page view event and this is the view content event. Everything as expected. Now I'm going to add this product to the cart. I'm going to select these two items and I'm ready to click on the Add to Cart button. Let's do this. So, as you see, there is another event, and now this is the Add to Cart event. So we were successfully intercepted the click on the Add to Cart button. If we switch to the console tab, we can see what happened on this page. So first, all pages rule was fired, then the PDP load rule was fired, since this is the product detail page, and then when we clicked on the Add to Cart button, our third rule was fired. So since in every rule we have Facebook pixel, this is why we have 3 requests to Facebook. Hope this was helpful, and now you understand how to work with Facebook extension in Adobe Launch. And just to summarize, when you want to set up pixel for Facebook, go to extensions, and I recommend you to install not only the Facebook pixel extension but also SDI toolkit. Then set up one data element for environments, another one for Facebook ID that will be set dynamically depending on the environment of Adobe Launch, and then proceed with the rules. One rule should be set on every single page and should fire page view event. Then another rule you may set for product detail pages, and another rule for clicks on call to action. So obviously on your site you may have many more different events, and on every event you may want to fire different Facebook pixels, but my goal was to show you how you can do this in Adobe Launch, and if you're familiar with other tag managers, now you can feel the difference. Hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. By the way, if you have challenges with other marketing tags or pixels, just share your challenges in the comments and I will be happy to help you. I will answer your questions, I will give you some advices, and will share with you my best practices. So thumbs up if you like this video, and talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, my name is Andrei Osachuk. I am an Adobe Analytics consultant. I have worked with Adobe Analytics, formerly Omniture Site Catalyst, for more than 9 years and implemented it for about 100 of B2C and B2B projects since 2008. Last year, I founded online courses to help my students learn and practice in Adobe Analytics. We work together on solution architecture based on business requirements, implement Adobe DTM and Launch, configure analytics report suites, set up reporting, and do data analysis while looking for insights. As you are watching this video, you are likely familiar with my YouTube channel, where I share my experience and best practices. Today I'm happy to announce my new video course for analytics developers, architects, and administrators that is called Report Suite Configuration in Adobe Analytics. This course will be helpful for everyone who wants to become a professional in Adobe Analytics. And it's also recommended for those who want to plan to get certified on Analytics Architect and Analytics Developer. Even if you haven't had any experience with setting up a report suite, I guarantee you will be able to create and configure a new report suite within 2 days. The course consists of 31 videos and covers all settings of the Report Suite Manager. In each video, I explain the purpose of the setting, give you examples, and share my best practices for configuration. It will take you about a day to watch all videos, and another day to set up a report suite following the guidance. I know that questions appear while doing. You may have an experience that after attending a webinar or a training course, you had many questions. Perhaps you had a very specific situation that wasn't covered on that webinar, and then you felt you didn't reach the desired goal as the course didn't help you accomplish what you wanted. This is why I support my students with their questions while and after the training. Everyone who will sign up for this course will be able to contact me directly. So if you have a question on Report Suite configuration after watching this video course, you can contact me and I will help you. Additionally, I give 30 minutes to every student for personal consultation on Adobe Experience Cloud for free. We can discuss your questions on Analytics, Target, Audience Manager, DTM and Launch, and other solutions I'm specializing on as a multi-solution architect. Sign up for this course to become a professional in Adobe Analytics. Talk to you soon.